Hello everyone, Alicia here with another lightened up Weight Watcher friendly recipe, and today's recipe is for a lightened up version of my favorite zucchini bread. Now I am really excited to be making this. I'm going to be taking my favorite zucchini bread. It's just a basic classic zucchini bread recipe that I've had for so long that I honestly don't even remember where it originally came from. But I love this zucchini bread. I had some zucchini, so I thought it was time to take that recipe and lighten it up, make it more Weight Watcher friendly, lower calorie, all of that good stuff, and see how it turns out. So if you're seeing this video right now, that means it did turn out. So yay! Like I said, I'm super excited to make this, make it a little lighter. So let me jump into ingredients real quick and I'll show you what you're gonna need to make this. So first off, before I show you what you're gonna need to make this, I thought it'd be fun to show you the original here and how rough this piece of paper is looking. I think I've probably had this recipe a good 20 years. And it's looking it. So anyway, thought it'd be fun to show you that before I show you what's in the lightened up version. And also that recipe is for a double loaf, which I'm not gonna be doing. So I'm not only gonna be lightening that up, I'm also gonna be cutting that recipe in half because I don't need 2 loaves of zucchini bread around here. I will probably end up eating it all if I have that. So anyway, let me jump into what you're gonna need to make this. First off, you're gonna need 1 3/4 cup all-purpose flour. And then you're gonna need a 1/2 cup of a fat-free Greek yogurt. You could also use a fat-free sour cream. But as far as the Greek yogurts go, I love this Valier. This is the one I use for pretty much everything now. It is really good. It's got a great consistency and it works especially well in baked goods. So 1/2 cup Greek yogurt. Fat-free Greek yogurt, I should say. Next up, you're gonna need a medium zucchini, or what you're looking for is a cup grated total, and I should be able to get that out of that. And then here I've got a 1/2 cup chopped walnuts. I'm gonna be using that full bag. Back here I've got a Mott unsweetened applesauce cup. This is 3.9 ounces, or you're gonna need a 1/2 cup. I like using these single serve cups because they're right at about a 1/2 cup, just slightly under. And using these, you don't have to open up a big container of applesauce and then have to use it up because it goes bad pretty quickly. At least I've found in the past, applesauce goes bad pretty quickly when you open it up. So when you have these little individual ones, they're usually around the perfect size for baking. So here I've got 2 large eggs. And then for sweetener in this, I'm gonna be using this Lakanto Classic, a 1/2 cup of this, and then a 1/4 cup of the golden. Now Lakanto is just my no calorie sweetener of choice or preference. You can use whatever type you want. Next up, you're gonna need some baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of that, a teaspoon baking soda, teaspoon ground cinnamon, teaspoon vanilla extract, and then a 1/2 teaspoon salt. And then finally in here, I've got a tablespoon melted coconut oil. Now you could use vegetable oil or a different oil of choice. That is totally fine. I just really like the coconut oil and I use it quite a bit if I can make it work point-wise, because it actually is a little bit higher in points than, say, vegetable oil. But anyway, that is everything that's in this. Like I said, this is just kind of a classic, simple zucchini bread recipe. Not a lot to it, but let me get it started. First thing is I'm gonna get my zucchini grated up. I've got it nice and washed. I'm gonna just cut the ends off of it, and then I'm going to just hand grate it. I'm gonna just use this right here, which is gonna take me a bit, but I'd rather do that than dirty up my food processor for this little amount of a job. So I'm gonna go ahead, grate that, put it in my cup here so I can see when I get to a cup, and then I will be back. Got that shredded up and then just over slightly a cup. So now I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna set this aside, grab myself a medium-sized bowl, and to that I'm gonna add my dry ingredients, starting with my 1 3/4 cup all-purpose flour, teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon baking powder, teaspoon salt, and teaspoon ground cinnamon. I'm gonna just mix all of those together really well. Okay, now I'm gonna set that aside. And then in a large bowl, I'm gonna add in my eggs, unsweetened applesauce, my Lakanto Classic, Lakanto Golden, or again, you can use whatever type of no-calorie sweetener you want, a tablespoon coconut oil, teaspoon vanilla, and half cup Greek yogurt. Now I'm gonna just whisk that all together until it's well combined. Got that all mixed together well, and I've also got my oven preheating to 350 right now. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my dry ingredients. I'm gonna pour those in and fold those in. Here's how we're looking. I've just kind of folded this in until I'm not seeing any dry anymore because I don't want to over mix this. So now I'm gonna grab my zucchini, add that in, as well as my chopped pecans. And then I'm gonna just fold both of those in real well. Okay, I've got that nice and folded in there. So now I'm gonna grab myself a loaf pan, and I'm just using this Pyrex. It's a 4.5 by 8.5, so 5 by 9 would work as well. Now I'm gonna give that a quick spray with some cooking spray. And as is typical of me, I forgot to show this in the ingredients, but I will have it down below in the ingredients list and also on the Weight Watcher recipe builder. So I'm gonna just pour my batter in. And now I'm gonna bake this in my preheated oven at 350. I'm gonna guess this is probably gonna take a good 45 minutes, probably longer. The original recipe for 2 loaves takes, I believe it's right at an hour. So this is probably gonna be close to that. And so what I will most likely end up doing is about halfway through the cooking process, I'm probably gonna tint this with some foil just to prevent the top from getting overcooked, because that most likely will happen, especially in my oven, with the length of time that this is gonna take to cook. So I'll be back once this is done and I will show you what it looks like. I let this bake 55 minutes. It is looking done. Just based on appearance. You can stick a toothpick in and check for doneness that way too. I don't typically do that though. I can usually tell when it's done. So I'm gonna let this cool completely. Also, I did end up tinting it at about the 40-minute mark. So about the last 15 minutes, when it was getting a little too brown, I tinted it to prevent that from burning. But we'll let it cool completely. We'll cut into it, taste it, and I will give you points and all that good stuff. Okay, I've got this sliced. Try to show you. Looks like inside. Also wanted to show you the top, and I've shown this I've shown this before, where when you bake with the erythritol sweeteners, a lot of times you'll get this kind of crystallization on the top. That's totally normal. It freaked me out the first time I saw it, so I like to kind of point that out. When you use a certain amount, usually, or over a certain amount, that will tend to happen. But this smells very good. So I've got this factored in at 12 servings, and that is going to be 4 points a piece or a slice. If you don't add the walnuts, it's only 3, but I figured the walnuts needed to be in there. So 4 points a serving. My husband's here. Well, his hand's there. So say hello. You want to try this? You've been smelling it. See what you think? I'll hold that up there.
It's the right consistency.
Nice and moist.
Smells like zucchini bread.
It's been a very long time since I've made the regular version of this. So you might not be able to really compare it.
I can't tell that that's Weight Watcher friendly.
No? Tastes just like banana bread. Zucchini bread kind of smells like... Zucchini bread and banana bread are sort of similar, really, in flavor.
I mean, that's just really good. I don't...
Are you a zucchini bread fan? I haven't made this very much through the years. I couldn't remember.
The thing is, I can't really describe what it tastes like, because let's face it, zucchini bread doesn't taste like zucchini.
No, it doesn't at all.
Banana bread tastes like bananas.
That is true, but it tastes sweet. It's a similar sweet bread like a banana bread.
Not overly sweet, not super savory. The walnuts are lovely.
Yeah, it'd be
really
good.
Pop.
It'd be good with some butter too. Let's not lie.
Yeah.
But And I can't taste it right now because I'm still fasting, but I will give it a taste later.
So, if you just gave that to somebody and didn't tell them, they wouldn't know.
That was Weight Watchers?
No.
Well, that's what we want to hear.
Now, if they were a zucchini bread connoisseur, they might question your recipe because, again, I don't know what like the full octane zucchini bread tastes like.
Yeah.
That's just really good.
I'll have to make just for fun to compare it since it's been so long, the original. There it is up there on the fridge, looking as old as it is.
Yeah.
All right. So, good? Mm-hmm. Going for another piece, so that means good. All right, guys. Well, that was my lightened up zucchini bread. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to check down the description box below for all the ingredients, instructions, calories, macros, other nutritional info, as well as the Weight Watcher points and Weight Watcher recipe builder link. All of that is going to be down in the description box. But thank you, as always, for watching, and we will see you on the next one.